side. I want you to play with whatever kicks, tackles, whatever. You crash, get to the side. Stand up. You wait for that hit to happen. Unknown environment, close, your front, dark. Focus, get a handle position. Up there. Or
All right, Randy, how do you feel about your visit to Cranbrook?
Hey, Joel. It was great. I love your group here. Everybody's super friendly, and this was it was almost frustratingly interactive, this seminar, because everybody wanted to share stories and tell questions that we couldn't get through everything I wanted to get through. But that was so cool because I love when people give feedback and they talk about their experiences and they ask questions, right? So this. The way my class has been lately, I plan them that people aren't going to say anything. And I prefer, at the beginning, I say, please talk, but nobody ever does. And they actually took advantage, which was awesome.
That's why getting to the side is the most important part of this. It's not really the technique, right? It's getting to where I am the strongest and they are the weakest. Doesn't make them weak, doesn't make you strong.
Yeah, we're a pretty verbose bunch, you know, like we love to talk.
Right.
And it's a very social group, right?
Very social group, yeah. Everybody's super friendly.
Yeah. So what's, like for you, what is it you would like people to know about what you offer? Like, what do you offer that you think is, like, I thought it was unique.
Right. It's in the space it is.
Because it wasn't just physical, wasn't just, you know, kick them in the nuts, jab them in the throat and run, right?
Yeah.
There was predator psychology, the psychology of social violence. There was talking about boundaries, and boundaries is huge for me, being a life skills coach. And I think what I was surprised the first time you came out was how much this is a life skills program, more than any other self-defense training I've ever done.
To drop him directly down, you're not trying to do a technique, you're trying to get to a place.
Sure. I think one of the biggest points I like to make, and I say at the beginning of the course, is self-defense is closer to safety training than it is to martial arts training.
Yes.
Right? And what I mean by that is the goal of self-defense, real, pure self-defense, actual self-defense, is no incident happens, right? So I'm doing everything to prevent potential violence. Where in a martial arts class, which again, martial arts isn't trying to solve self-defense problems, so it's a different goal set. But it's when this happens, I do this.
You don't have to prove things you couldn't have known in the moment. I mean, we're going to put an injury so grievous on the person that it's hard for them to function as a person going forward. And
that became the self-defense model. When the person punches, I do this. And we flipped it on its head in my program, which is, why is it a when? Why is it always a when they punch, right? Why aren't we setting boundaries, using situational awareness, de-escalating, reading threat cues? Why do we always assume that it's going to go physical? And that's kind of the crux of 80-20 in my company is proactive skills, everything before the fight and then a little bit after, right? Yeah. So I think that's the unique offering that I give is this isn't a martial arts course. It's for every level. We had people here at various different fitness levels. People with injuries were able to do the class. People, right? Like there is physical stuff in it. There's physical components, but they are not the spotlight.
Yes.
The spotlight is the presentations.
Getting myself as close as physically possible to him in order to stop his rotation points.
Actually, that's what I really enjoyed about it, because there's a nice balance, right? We were sitting, listening to lectures, interactive lectures. And then when your brain is full, all of a sudden, okay, let's stand up, let's do this, let's crash the line, let's do some physical stuff, and then, everybody gets their energy level back up, and then you're back into the classroom, right? Yeah. It's a great formula. I love what you're doing.
Well, thank you. I definitely work off the theory that your brain can only handle what your ass can, right? So if you're sitting too long, you're not taking any more information, right? So you need to be moving around and getting that blood flowing. But And the reason it works really well is I like to think I'm very good at designing courses.
It's happening closer than you think it is. It's happening closer than you're training right now. Right? Now he's carrying all this taco time, right? It's too much. Too much weight.
Yeah.
Where everything makes sense together and there's a logical progression, and the things that we cover make sense in the next part of it, and everything flows together. And the physical stuff is perfect for that, because then I can use that as the bridge to, okay, we did this physical stuff. Here's where this physical stuff applies on the proactive side of things.
Yeah. And that is a great formula. So if people want to get a hold of you, where do they look for you?
So my name is my brand, pretty much. So Randy King Live, everything is pretty much the best way to go. YouTube channel is 80/20 conflict management, but it's just best to go to my website, randykinglive.com, and it gives you access to all my social media, Patreon, online courses, because we have a couple of those, and the course offerings, all that stuff. Everything's on the website. So just go to randykinglive.com, and then you can find everything, podcast links, everything's there.
Awesome.
I want you to understand that you cannot survive wrong. It's impossible. So even though I didn't do all my cool black belt level stuff then, I'm telling you the story, which means I survived. Volume beats power.
So for me, I highly recommend this man to come. If you can bring him out, you will not be disappointed. If you can't, he has a lot of online material for free. He also offers online courses, and having done one of his online courses, the information is fantastic, and it is stuff that if you are teaching a martial arts class, every once in a while you got some self-defense logic to throw in there, some knowledge to throw in there.
So I'm getting all of the effect of this, but none of the murder, right? So you cannot survive incorrectly. If your best move was to deal with a sexual assault until that person ended it and they left and you survived, good fucking job, you did it, you survived. That is the point of this. And don't let any asshole with any certificate tell you any goddamn different.
Right? Because like you said, martial arts is not self-defense. It has some cross-transferable skills for a small part of self-defense, a very small part, right?
Yeah.
Like really all that other stuff is so much more important to keeping yourself safe. But like, when you talk about risk versus reward,
right?
If you are visibly confident, I mean, martial arts can make the risk of victim picking you a little higher because of how you carry yourself. But sometimes it can also lead to for social violence. It often leads to some bad situations. And that's something that I think a lot of martial artists don't like to talk about.
Right. Yeah.
The ego-based fights.
Right.
We could do a whole. You could do a whole show just on that.
Probably.
And if you do, you should bring it.
Okay, maybe I will. We'll move that. That sounds good. I think that's the thing, right? Is that, and this is the issue with the martial arts model for self-defense, is that you're only giving people a hammer.
Ready? Thump, bang, 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 bang. We good? Bang, bang. And this guy's like, but if you were in a bad situation, you got through it, however you got through it, how you endured it, that's a fucking win to me.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So everything looks like a goddamn nail. I have to wait here until the attack happens, and then I do my stuff. Right? It takes away all the awareness, it takes away all the ability to make problem solving, and it makes it a physical fight, which in self-defense is not great, because the bad guy gets to choose everything.
Yeah, I mean,
the time, the place, the weapons, everything.
If your self-defense instructor says, "Oh yeah, I've been in 1,000 street fights," he's a fucking shitty self-defense.
Sure, right? Yeah, that's fair, right? Like if you can't de-escalate.
Yeah, he might be a great fighter.
Yeah,
if you won them all, right? But he's not a good guy to learn self-defense from.
Well, and why I like you, Joel. Why I like you, Joel, is that you look at this and you understand that the skill sets and the goals of martial training, combative training, self-defense training are different.
Yes.
They're different goal sets, and it doesn't make anybody wrong. It's just, this is not the tool for this situation. And so I still train martial arts. I wrestle and I box and I love all that stuff. Yeah. But I don't do it for self-defense. I do it because I like doing martial arts, and that's okay. Exactly. But don't tell people that what you're doing is self-defense when you're not looking at the actual causes of violence. You're just looking at how to fist fight your way out of a situation.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. Anything else you want to say before we go?
No, I guess that's it.
Okay. Thank you. I hope you guys like the highlights that I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, you're doing a bunch of wizardry on this, right?
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah. So we'll splice stuff in, but thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, as always.
It was so fun.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
What are your thoughts on the workshop so far?
Fantastic. Cements a lot of things I knew, fills in a lot of gaps I didn't know. Lots of real practical, hands-on and theory. It's just a beautiful thing.
What's your thoughts on the seminar?
Amazing.
Right on.
Love it.
That's pretty awesome.
Awesome.
Not done.